Hey guys, today I am repotting some of my plants that I started from seed. I'm moving them from these smaller containers into some bigger containers. They need to be put into the bigger containers so they don't become root bound. That's what I typically do is I move things from the peat pods that I buy, and then I put them into these, and then I typically move them into another size container after a little while. So today's the day. I've already done several, and right now I am going to do my green beans and my buttercup squash, and then I'm going to fertilize everything and water and probably put them outside for the day since we have a warm day. So what I usually do is I grab these peat pods and I line them all up here inside of these trays, and once they're all lined up, I can usually fit about 100 of them in here. I'll boil water and pour the boiling water over all the peat pods and just let it soak in there. And once they soak up all the water, they grow to be about this size. This is the size that I tend to use. I really love these peat pods because it helps with my germination rate. It's very rare that seeds don't germinate in these. So that's typically what I like to do, is just put them in here. And the reason that I use boiling water is because I have found in the past that these pods, when they come, this has happened to us and it's not fun. They have what we believe is aphid eggs or some different kinds of bug eggs, and that's natural, it happens. In all soils, you can get a bag of soil from one of the local stores, the hardware stores, and it could have eggs and bugs or whatever inside of it. And we unfortunately ran across really bad aphids in our last batch of peat pods. And I didn't use the boiling water method, and I really regretted it. I'm still dealing with the problem. So by pouring the boiling water over these and letting them sit in boiling water, it kills any bugs or eggs that's in it. So these things are really great. I have a really high germination rate with these things, but there are a few steps you need to take prior to using them and putting your seeds in them. I usually will boil the water ahead of time, get all of these things lined up in the tray. I'll pour a whole pot of boiling water. It'll soak it all up. I let them sit for probably 10 to 15 minutes. And then I pour out any excess water, and I kind of grab the pod and I squish it down to get the excess water off of it. And then I put them back, and usually I'll do one more pot of boiling water for them to soak up once they're full size before I plant any seeds in them. Alright guys, now I'm going to take you out to the greenhouse so you can see the before and after of our garden for 2021. So our greenhouse has two enclosed sides. We refer to the right side as the big side and the left side as the small side. On the big side we have shallow beds but a lot more space to put more plants. And the smaller side has 6 deep planter beds that we like to grow different kinds of root vegetables. Right now, the garden beds are empty in both sides, except one area. I have a little bit of garlic planted. And I also have several large pots in the big side that have different types of fruit trees and bushes in them. Last year was our first year at this house, so we were very excited to get our greenhouse filled with plants. And it was definitely filled. None of us paid attention to how much space each plant would take up. We were just excited to plant stuff, really. We just threw any plant anywhere and hoped for success. We learned our lesson from that's for sure. Our garden was an absolute jungle, and even though that sounds really great to have really giant
successful plants, it made it really hard to see everything that I needed to pick, and made it even harder for us to reach things without damaging the plants around them. So this year, we're going to be very careful about plant spacing and the types of plants that we grow in both sides of the greenhouse.